Steel manufacturing made Rotherham. The demise of it now would go near to destroying hope in this town. On the skyline looms the threat. One company, one decision. Without government money, hundreds of jobs could go. COVID has already ripped into a weak local economy, and you never have to look far to find a food bank. Susan Bradley is dependent on food aid. She's a volunteer here because she's so grateful for the help. She has a job, but she's laid off with the government providing 80% of her pay. That's not enough, though, to support her family.
It's devastating. It's awful. You just feel like a failure, you know. As a parent, I've struggled many a times before, but not in a situation like this where I've not had enough, even in the kitchen cupboard, the fridge, just to make the one-pot meal.
DENISE LELLIOTT is in charge. She's a counsellor with a local authority, devoting most of her spare time to running this service.
I never thought that we'd have gone back to what it was like in 1985 and 85 at miners' strike. And do you know what? We haven't, because it's worse. And it all, I get quite, I do, genuinely. Do you know, it's funny. I've done this for 30 years. And I think you've got to really understand what it's like to have nothing.
And that feeling is shared by more and more people as COVID takes jobs as well as lives. And alongside poverty, the coronavirus has shown inequality in health as well. Rotherham has one of the highest death rates from COVID in the whole of the UK. One of the reasons for this is Rotherham's manufacturing industries. Working from home isn't an option. This firm, like many others, has been hit by COVID despite strict procedures.
I'm relying on these guys to tell me if they feel fit enough to be able to be at work, but how many of them would go home and earn nothing? And if the choice was, I don't tell anybody and I still got to work.
Thanks, Denise.
At the food bank, Susan Bradley heads home with a week's worth of groceries. She's always worked for a living and never thought she'd be reliant on charity to get by. Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera, Rotherham.